Welcome to The Real Grind, hosted by Karen Gowans and produced by Armen Dilanchian. This episode is brought to you by 4D Legacy Studios.
Welcome to the very first episode of Real Grind, where content creators and filmmakers tell the raw, unfiltered truth about content creation. And when I say raw, I mean raw. Think of a bleeding steak on your dinner plate, that kind of raw. So we're here to deal with the challenges, the adversity, the chaos, the craziness, the burnout, and of course, the breakthroughs. This podcast isn't about sugarcoating things, but it's not a pity party either. We're here to discuss the good and the bad. I'm your host, Karen Gowans, and today we're diving headfirst into a reality most creators know too well, a digital world that feels overcrowded, overstimulated, and overwhelming. So, you know that feeling. You've worked on something for days, for weeks, maybe months, and you post it, and then silence. Nobody's watching it. Nobody's listening to your content. And it's not because people don't care. It's because the internet is just too loud. Today's space is saturated. It's completely saturated. It's overflowing, ready to burst. And it makes even the most talented creators start to question if there's room for their voice anymore. Let's be honest, we were promised that this new age of content creation would give everyone a shot. That was the dream, right? It was all about everybody having a chance and equality. But now everyone has the tools, everyone can publish. And suddenly it's not about whether you can create, it's about whether you can be seen. For example, with this new digital world that we're in, if somebody wants to publish a book, they don't have to get a literary agent or approach a publishing company. They can just go on Amazon, put their content there, pick some interesting graphics, and Amazon will put a book together for them. There's no decision makers that have to scrutinize the work. It automatically gets published. If somebody wants to make a film or a TV show, they can go on YouTube and do it. And that creates a challenge for filmmakers. It's much harder to make a traditional film than it is to just make like a really quick film on YouTube. It's cheaper, it's quicker, and those YouTubers creating amazing content are creating competition for filmmakers. It's so easy for people to get on YouTube. I even, I'm thinking of the the Canadian golden boy, Justin Bieber, and how he was discovered on YouTube. His mother posted some videos of him performing, and she was just hoping to entertain his grandparents. But a talent manager from Atlanta, Scooter Braun, came across the footage and contacted Justin's mother, and the rest is history. So anybody can be seen these days. Everybody is posting. If somebody wants to get into the music business, they don't need to find our record label. They don't need to deal with music company executives. They can just go on Spotify. And there's just so many of these success stories of people that are using these platforms that are out there. They're getting on Instagram. They are really creating competition and they're saturating the marketplace. And I mean, I feel very happy for people like Lily Singh, for example. She's a Canadian comedian and she's the host of Battle of the Generations. She was a judge on Canada's Got Talent, and she had a show on NBC, A Little Late with Lily Singh. That was the show she had. And she started off as a YouTuber. So everybody is using these platforms. And now what is happening is creators and filmmakers aren't just competing with their peers. They're now up against TikToks, trends, bots, and burnout. And I mean, 15-second dopamine hits that flood the scroll before anyone even finishes what they're saying. Before anyone even finishes a sentence, there's that dopamine hitting, and there's some creator that is capturing attention and diminishing the spotlight that is shining on others. And perhaps, someone's dopamine hits success, this amazing content that, stimulates endorphins and gets people excited and subscribing and following. That is overshadowing someone else. Someone else is getting upstaged and ignored. And what happens when you try to create something real? What happens when you try to say something real in the middle of all that noise? It feels like shouting into a storm. It's pointless. You're not going to get heard. And today's digital world is very much like a jungle, right? So think survival of the fittest. Now it seems that the creators and the filmmakers that are rising to the top are the people that are fierce in that jungle. They have the content that pops. They have the content that makes people subscribe and follow them. And they've got the really dazzling, exhilarating work. So think of a saber-toothed tiger in that jungle. That tiger is going to be visible. That tiger is going to be seen. When that tiger growls, it's not going to feel like it's shouting into a storm. It's going to get heard. A saber-toothed tiger can be compared to a very skilled creator. That tiger is strong. It's dazzling, it's beautiful, and it gets seen because it is enormous. 2.2 meters in length, shoulder height that is 1.1 meters, and this cat is 250 kilograms on average. Their teeth are 14 centimeters in length and can reach about 28 centimeters. So think of a saber-toothed tiger in the jungle. That is what a skilled content creator is in this digital world that we're in today. That skilled creator is able to be visible, and it's hard for creators to be visible. That's the challenge. It's easy to find a platform to get on. Justin Bieber did it. Lily Singh did it. Many people are doing it. But the challenge is being visible, being heard in that storm. And it's not that your work isn't good enough. It's that the system isn't designed to recognize it. It's hard to be visible. It's like being on a treadmill with no stop button. It just goes on and on and on. It's a vicious cycle, and it really chips at a person. It's so hard to be visible. It's so hard to be that saber-toothed tiger. I'm just going to take a sip of water. I'm in a basement that is being developed into a studio. So I'm dealing with cement walls. It gets a little bit dusty. So from time to time, I'll need to take a water break so my throat doesn't feel like the Sahara Desert. So these days, it's not just about creating anymore. It's about branding. It's about posting. It's about tracking. It's about public relations, marketing, advertising, social media. It's digital athletics. It's about survival of the fittest. It's about being agile and being able to draw attention to oneself. And creators and filmmakers are performing for platforms that reward speed and shock, not depth and not truth. So what happens? These creators, they start to change. As a creator, when you're frustrated about not being seen, you are going to start shaping your voice to fit the trends. So you compromise little by little until you forget why you started in the first place. And eventually you burn out. And in addition to burning out from not being visible, many content creators deal with the constant struggle to keep uploading, to keep posting content. And they can get addicted to the attention. They love having followers. They love the subscribers. They like seeing the comments and responding to comments. And they just love their audience, and they really soak up all of that attention. It's very much like an addiction. But at the same time, time they resent their followers because their followers are the reason that they put pressure on themselves to continually post content. And they may have days when, they wake up feeling depressed, maybe low energy, something has happened in their personal life, and they just want to forget about their online fame and just maybe do something where they're just focused on themselves, but they are feeling guilty that they should be creating. Maybe their mind goes back to the days when they weren't creating and they had all the freedom and less pressure. And there's this pressure, this tension, dealing with wanting to maintain their current level of fame and surpass the competition, but at the same time, they want to slow down and they want to be able to relax and sometimes forget about being a creator. And they can't. They don't want to let people down. They just get depressed feeling that they always have to keep creating content. So the burnout comes from two things. It's coming from the challenge of not being not being visible, not being seen after the content is created, and then also that pressure to continually be uploading and posting. And let me say this clearly, that burnout from not feeling visible, it's not weakness. That discouraged feeling, it's not failure. It's the natural result of trying to stay human in a machine that never stops spinning. It's very much like a treadmill. And I think a lot of creators and filmmakers will do work. They're enjoying it, but in the back of their mind, at the back of their mind, there's this insecurity. They know that after the creating is done, the hard part starts when they are tasked with the responsibility of being visible. That's the hard part. Creating is easy. It's easy to find platforms, but the hard part is dealing with not being visible. So that's why Real Grind exists. We're here to say out loud what too many creators are afraid to admit. That's why this podcast was created. We know that it's hard. It's hard to be a filmmaker. It's hard to be a content creator. And it's okay to feel stuck. It's okay to feel invisible. And it's okay to not have it all figured out because you're not alone. There are thousands of us out here. We're creating, we're adjusting, we're struggling, we're restarting, we're giving ourselves pep talks when we fall down. Every single day, we're modifying our approach. We're looking at how we're constructing success and asking ourselves if we need to do it differently. And we're trying to hold on to our voice, our craft, and our sanity. So that's what this podcast is about. It's about real people, real stories, real strategy, and real encouragement. Now, each episode, we are going to sit down with everyone under the sun in the industry. So you are going to see filmmakers, producers, directors, financiers, composers, influencers, designers, writers, editors, performers, storytellers. The list could go on. Everybody that is involved in the industry can be a potential guest, anybody at all, any professional. It could even be a makeup artist, talent agent, somebody that scouts locations, somebody that designs sets for films. We are going to feature industry people and they're going to be talking about the ups and downs. They're not going to be sugarcoating anything. They're going to be talking about the realities. And of course, they're going to share how they overcame adversity and they're going to discuss their successes. And this show is really a creative hub. It's a place where people can hear about strategies. It's a strategy hub. It's also a resource center. It's a place where people can come to hang their hat and just sit back and hear about peers discussing what is relevant. And we're very open to having people featured that are in various facets of the film industry, all sorts of creators. If you're interested in being featured, shoot us an email. You can send it to info@4dlegacystudios.com, and it's the number 4 and the letter D for that email address. We're a film production and distribution company based out of the Bay Area in California. And yeah, if you want to be featured on the show, please submit your information. Tell us about yourself. If there's someone in your professional network, someone in your social network that you feel will be a good guest, please let us know and we'll be happy to consider them. If there's something that you have had on your mind, a particular subject or issue related to producing content or films, you are welcome to contact us and let us know that you would like that topic addressed. We really want to stay current and talk about what's relevant. And so many producers, so many filmmakers are thinking about pitching to investors and monetizing their work. And this hub is really going to focus on bringing investors in, people that do financing. We're going to bring entertainment lawyers on. We're going to be delving deep into how creators can monetize their work, how they can make money. My throat got a little bit dry, so I just took a little water break. So this show is about the truth, and our listeners that are in the film industry, that are content creators, can benefit from tuning in. And we're also going to feature people in those professional roles as guests. So it's going to be a wonderful resource for learning and discovering. You might even discover that, something that you thought was your issue, something that you were, just going through and you were kind of taking personally. You might realize that it's a widespread concern for other people in the industry. So you're going to find your peers being featured and you can be featured. This podcast is for you. We want you to benefit. And these days, when it comes to content creation and filmmaking, there's no formula anymore. There's no template, but we have community. There is community. There is honesty and there is you, and you belong here. Thank you for tuning in. If this landed with you, please stick around. We're just getting started. This conversation matters, and so do you. We hope that you'll tune in to our next episode. This introductory episode was brought to you by 4D Legacy Studios, produced by Armen Dilanchian, and I'm Karen Gowans, and this is Real Grind.